Okay guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back. It's Thursday, May 7th, and it is 9:31 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to get right into the Q post because we've got a lot to catch up on here, and I'm not sure how many videos it's going to take, but I'm determined to get through these. So, and I do have another video as well prepared, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it tonight or not, but it looks like there'll be at least 2 tonight. Okay, well, let's just pick up from where we left off with the Q post, and we are on the 6th of May, so we're going to be covering the 6th of May and today's post, the 7th of May as well. Lots of things happening. I'm sure you guys heard that General Flynn was exonerated. So that is really, really good news, but it shouldn't surprise us because Q told us this would happen quite a while ago. So yeah, so let's hope that everything else that Q has stated comes true as well, and that we do indeed see that justice is served to those that deserve. And we know who they are. So anyway, let's just jump right in here, and we are on drop 4118. Game over, Adam. Anons are ready to dig. Yeah, that is one person that I will be really glad to see. You know, when he meets with his justice, I will be glad to see that, because it's hard to tell, you know, who is the worst. I mean, because there's so many. There's Hillary Rodham Clinton, there's James Comey, there's James Clapper, there's John Brennan, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, it's hard. Some of these people are, it's hard to, you know, to say which one is the worst, because they're all bad, and Obama, of course. But anyway, we're going to look at this link that Q has set out for us to take a look at, and we're going out there now. Washington Examiner, Brian York's Daily Memo exclusive, DNI to Schiff, the transcripts are ready to release. Now, this was from May 6th, 2020, and it says the following. Exclusive, DNI to Schiff, the transcripts are ready to release. A big development in the fight over 53 secret interviews the House Intelligence Committee conducted during its Trump-Russia investigation. Acting Director of National Intelligence, Richard Grenell, has sent a letter to Chairman Adam Schiff notifying him that the transcripts of all 53 interviews, over 6,000 pages in all, have been cleared for public release. All of the transcripts with our required redactions can be released to the public without any concerns of disclosing classified material, Grenell wrote to Schiff in a letter dated May 4th. The Intel Committee did the first probe into Russia's 2016 campaign interference and allegations of Trump-Russia collusion. Even today, its findings make up most of what we know about the affair. As part of that investigation, it was run by then-majority Republicans. The committee interviewed some key witnesses in the Trump-Russia matter: Donald Trump Jr., Steve Bannon, Andrew McCabe, Sally Yates, Michael Cohen, Hope Hicks, and many more. And I think it is wonderful that they have been released. I did see somewhere online where you can download those, and I do want to do that and look through them, although 600 pages is a lot. So I hope that there are lots of eyes on that. And let's go back now to Q, and it says, "Sorry, Adam, but the game is now over. It doesn't end here." I love this. Locked on Target. It takes time to install the right people. Sleepers. We are ready. Q. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, according to Lisa Mae Crowley, she said Schiff's sitting on a 53 transcript from Russia investigation in spite of unanimous Intel Committee vote to release on 26th of September 2018. Grinnell will release all transcripts via DNI with classified redactions if Schiff doesn't. Sleepers removed and installed. Names of witnesses whose transcripts have been held up by Schiff requested DNI under no circumstances share House Intelligence Committee transcripts with the White House, President Trump, or any persons associated with the White House or President. Interesting, isn't it? And let's come down here to De Oppresso Liber. DNI is clean. That's really good news, because it hasn't always been, has it? DNI is clean. Sleepers removed. Think Dan Coates. Grinnell, placeholder and current DNI director, will order the release of the 53 secret testimony transcripts that Schiff has refused to release in spite of the House Intel Committee authorizing the release. D-class time is here. Schiff has no more power to hide the truth. Yeah, and that's been his only power, because everything he stated has either been an out-and-out lie or a twisting of the truth. And so he doesn't have that anymore, because once everything's out, well, everything's out. And I think it'll be very clear to see exactly the game that Schiff has been playing, and I hope he pays dearly for it. Let's go on to the next drop, and we are on drop 4119. Drop 4119. Again, this is from yesterday, May 6th. Dates are important. Boom week ahead. Well, it is now Thursday, so and this was yesterday, this was Wednesday, so I don't know, we don't have too many more days for booms, but we did get some today. Fairly significant ones. So, and down here we have this that Q posted back in May of 2019, the 12th of May to be exact, 2019, and he said then, boom week ahead. Treason doesn't pay well in the end. No doubt. I'm sure that they will get what they deserve. You don't always get what you want, but in the end, you get what you deserve. Isn't that the song that is always playing at the Trump rallies? All right. And down further, he has another link to a post that he made on May 2nd, 2020. May 2nd, 2020. Boom week ahead. Treason doesn't pay well in the end. Q. And he says, dates are important. And Lisa Mae Crowley says, not fond of making predictions based on drops, but this appears to suggest the 12th of May could be transcript release date, or Q wants them to think that to get them to expend ammo. False flag. High possibility of multiple day coverage event forcing pause on news. State funeral coming? Well, there's always Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I wonder when. I don't even know anymore if she's actually really alive. They say she is, but I don't know. Doesn't seem like she possibly could be, but apparently she is. So, but yeah, I bet you there will be something to detract from the news, because that's what they do. That's what they're good at. All right, and now we are on drop 4120, 4120. Pawpaw fruit tests positive for COVID-19. CBS stages and fakes COVID-19 reporting. Well, they wouldn't do something like that, would they? Of course they would. They don't have any moral compass. They don't have any conscience. Yeah, pawpaw fruit. And a goat and a bird, apparently, all tested positive for COVID. And let's go out here. We've got a link to James O'Keefe's Twitter page. And here we are, James O'Keefe. And let's listen to this. It is 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. Let me make this bigger. There we go.
You're telling me you're 100% certain that CBS News Corporation, National, staged a fake event. They faked the news. They faked the reality and broadcasted that to all of their audience last Friday on CBS This Morning.
100%, absolutely.
Only 6 states have reported more cases than Michigan, but fewer than 2% of its people have been tested for the virus. In our series on the state of coronavirus testing, Adriana Diaz shows how Michigan is trying to improve a system that has failed some of its people.
But the governor says testing above all else will help determine when to fully reopen.
Apparently, the news crew wanted more people in the line because they knew it was scheduled.
Well, we knew they were coming. We had no clue that we were going to have to, do fake patients.
Gotcha. Did she tell you guys, hey, you're not actually getting tested?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. Well, just to make it look busy for the news because they were up there.
That's crazy. Well, I didn't see you guys do the swab at all. I just saw you talking with them. And then I was talking with the other girl.
There were a couple of real patients, which made it worse. They probably just wanted it to look busy. It's my guess.
Is this the fake line?
Yes, yep, that's it.
So the people in the cars are not patients?
Majority of them. I do know from talking with the testers that one or two of them were real patients, which added to their frustration because this line sat there for a while so they could organize the shot.
So they've made a line of cars with medical personnel in the cars as opposed to patients.
Correct.
And the viewer does not know that.
Correct. You shouldn't be afraid to say the truth because in the end, truth always wins.
Yes, it does. Sooner or later, it all comes out. Yeah, I'd like to say that is alarming, and it should be, but knowing what we know now about the media, it isn't. And that's what is sad, because it should be alarming. Anyway, let's go back, and it says, pawpaw positive COVID-19 test result. Yep, that darn fruit, just full of the virus. Pawpaw fruit. Can't trust them. And staged fake CBS CV reporting. Yep. Yep. Hard to believe, but it's true. And Lisa Mae Crowley, God bless this whistleblower and James O'Keefe for exposing these frauds. They send faulty tests to spike number of positives and stage fake lines for testing. Shows this is only intended to promote fear and extend stay-home orders to steal the election. And Dio Presso Liber states CBS staged faked patients in Michigan, as O'Keefe demonstrates in this undercover video. James O'Keefe deserves a Pulitzer. I would agree with that. Absolutely, I would agree with that. Yeah, just watch that pawpaw fruit and goats too. Just avoid those and you should be fine. Goats and pawpaw fruit, whatever pawpaw fruit is. You know what? I know this probably drives you guys crazy, but I've got to see what a pawpaw fruit is because I don't know. Pawpaw fruit. It's probably not how you spell it. There it is. Who knew? It is the pawpaw, or pawpaw, among many regional names, is a small deciduous tree native to eastern United States. Wow! And Canada. Well, I've never seen one in my entire life. Didn't know you could eat them. But, now that I know that they're all full of the virus, I don't want to eat them. Maybe I'll eat the goat, though. I'll eat the goat. I just don't want to have to kill it. I can't kill it. The Ontario fruit that sounds too mythical, too bizarre to be true. But it is true. Pawpaw fruit, who knew? Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go back here because, I digress. And let's go on to the next Q post. Because that's why we're here, right? All right, this is drop 4121. It's only on the brink that people find the will to change. Oh, that is so true. People at the end of their ropes are more willing to change and to make a change than people that are comfortable. Anyway, let's take a look at this, and hopefully I can play it because I don't know what this is. I don't want to get any more strikes.
Your problem is not technology.
Oh yes, this is the day the earth stood still. It's only on the brink that people find the will to change. And because this is a movie, I don't know if I should play this or not, but I'm going to.
The problem is you. You lack the will to change.
Then help us change.
I cannot change your nature. You treat the world as you treat each other.
But every civilization reaches a crisis point eventually.
Most of them don't make it.
Yours did? How?
Our sun was dying. We had to evolve in order to survive.
So it was only when your world was threatened with destruction that you became what you are now?
Yes.
Well, that's where we are. You say we're on the brink of destruction, and you're right. But it's only on the brink that people find the will to change. Only at the precipice do we evolve.
There's truth to that. And I think that that's where we are now. We are on the brink of destruction. We are on the precipice. And, things are going to have to change. They can't go on the way they are. They just can't. I think you would all agree with that. Anyway, let's go back. And it says sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. Only then will people find the will to change. Q. And I definitely, I think those are words of wisdom. And Lisa May Crowley says, seen from the day the earth stood still, we had to evolve to survive. It's only on the brink of destruction that people find the will to change. This is where we are today. And Dio Presso Liber says, sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You have to show them the truth. Q posts a link from movie The Day the Earth Stood Still. Great clip. Only at the threat of extinction or destruction will the public change. We're at the precipice. And this from how do you pronounce his? Kabommer. Q just shared The Day the Earth Stood Still. Plot, a humanoid ET visitor comes to Earth to deliver an important message that will affect the entire human race. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. Only then will people find the will to change. And I think that is pretty self-explanatory. And, well, that was a strange sound. That was Xander trying to look for whatever mischief he can get into. All right, and we are on drop 4122. Again, we are on the 6th of May. FAQ on obtaining information regarding a current FBI investigation. And it says, question, can I obtain detailed information about a current FBI investigation that I see in the news? Answer, no. Such information is protected from public disclosure in accordance with current law and Department of Justice and FBI policy. This policy preserves the integrity of the investigation and the privacy of individuals involved in the investigation prior to any public charging for violations of the law. It also serves to protect the rights of people not yet charged with a crime. So we have a link here, and let's go out to that link. And this is where Q is pulling that question and answer from. And this is actually an official, it's www.fbi.gov /about and then FAQ. So yeah, that is apparently if it's a current investigation, you cannot get information on it. The public cannot anyway, and that only makes sense. I think that's logical. Let's go back here and so Lisa May Crowley says, I've seen people claim the FBI can't hold on to information if that info is exculpatory in nature for another case. The answer in the FBI facts checks. And Dio Presso Lieber says, Q quotes the FBI frequently asked questions about obtaining info about a current FBI investigation. The answer, this info is protected from public disclosure due to ongoing investigation. Q has told us this many times in relation to the Durham-Huber investigations. Interesting how the Durham-Huber investigations have had no leaks, sealed tight as a submarine. That is true. There's been no leaks at all. So that is incredible, to tell you the truth. So let's go on. And now we are on drop 4123. 4123. Dianne Feinstein Dianne Feinstein is the bridge back channel to the Communist Party of China. Now, I don't doubt that at all. I mean, she had the that driver that was a Chinese spy for years. All right, so we've got some links to look at, so let's go do that. All right, now it says 2013, Dianne Feinstein announces California opens a California China Trade and Investments Office. Listen as she explains her special connection with Shanghai leaders going back to the 1970s. #war. Let's listen.
Council and the many California businesses and economic development organizations that have made this important private-public partnership possible. And thank you to our many partners and friends in China for your strong commitment to growing the economic and cultural ties between our two great countries. I'm especially pleased that California's first trade office has its home in Shanghai, and I have a very special connection with Shanghai.
I bet you do.
As mayor of San Francisco a long time ago, I had the honor of establishing a sister city relationship with Shanghai. It was the first sister city relationship between a United States and a Chinese city. And to this very day, I remember Mayor Wang Daohan very well, and Jiang Zemin and Mayor Zhu Rongji, two of which, both Jiang and Zhu, became president and premier, respectively, of the country. The relationship, though, yielded tremendous economic and cultural benefits, and that's been true over the past 30 years. I know this new office will build on the powerful and unique partnership between California and China. So thank you again as you make this the century of the Pacific.
Okay. Yeah. And let's look at the next link that Q has left for us. And this from the Washington Examiner says the spy who drove her, Dianne Feinstein and Chinese espionage. Now this is from September 10th, 2018, but this is what Q wants us to look at. Beijing's nefarious activities in the United States are very worrying. San Francisco is a hotbed of espionage and international intrigue, and why wouldn't it be? Strategically located near major West Coast ports, home to many large immigrant communities, and perhaps, most crucially, just up the road from America's most technologically sophisticated corporations, it makes perfect sense that Americans' geopolitical rivals would want to gain a foothold in the city by the bay. And gain it, they have Evidently, last year, when the president took the decidedly non-collusionish action of shuttering Russia's San Francisco consulate, its oldest in the country, black smoke billowed from the historic Pacific Heights building that had long housed the Kremlin outpost. Clearly, the Russians were burning evidence of misdeeds, and now we know that China, a much more worrisome long-term threat to the United States, that a declining Russia has been active in the Bay Area as well. I'm sorry, I think I misread that. And we now know that China, a much more worrisome long-term threat to the United States than a declining Russia, has been active in the Bay Area as well. 5 years ago, Senator Dianne Feinstein, the California Democrat who then chaired the Intelligence Committee, was approached by the FBI. The Bureau had learned that a staffer in her San Francisco office was a Chinese operative run out of Beijing's consulate in that city. It appears that he had started as a legitimate employee, but was at some point likely on a visit to the East, turned by a member of the Chinese Ministry of State Security. The staffer had served the senator for some 2 decades as a general office lackey, a liaison to the local Chinese community, and most important, the senator's chauffeur when she was in San Francisco, her hometown. Driving Miss Feinstein would have been a plum assignment for an intelligence operative. It allowed the Chinese access to the senator's comings and goings and who she met with, as well as to any conversations she might have had in the car and any documents she may have left in it. According to a column in the San Francisco Chronicle, the FBI did not believe the driver had managed to nab anything confidential, and after being approached by the Bureau, the senator promptly fired him. It also appears that ultimately no charges were filed against the driver. Feinstein's press secretary ignored requests for comment on this story. Her office has been issued standard boilerplate to media outlets saying that the senator was mortified. Oh, I bet she was. By the revelation that she had a spy on her payroll. Rather, she was probably mortified that she got caught. Despite her efforts to brush matters aside, the Feinstein spy scandal is significant. It's hard to make out through the media and political class myopic obsession with all things Russia, but Chinese espionage in America is epidemic. In June 2015, Chinese hackers stole the sensitive personal data, social security numbers, addresses, etc. of more than 20 million Americans when they breached the Office of Personnel Management's servers. That provided Beijing a trove of information, not to mention copious blackmail opportunities. Military secrets have been targeted repeatedly, and college campuses are also host to scores of Chinese assets and operatives. Meanwhile, Beijing's plan to dominate the pharmaceutical, aerospace, artificial intelligence, robotics, self-driving car, clean energy, and sundry other industries of the future, Made in China 2025, it's called, is largely based on espionage, notably the purloining of American technology, and those are just the operations we know about. In other words, Dianne Feinstein's driver might not amount to a hill of beans compared to the OPM hack, but it's another star in a vast constellation of Chinese espionage against the United States, not to mention a clever way to get close to the chair of an important Senate committee, one privy to sensitive information. So it's puzzling that the Washington Post has mentioned the Feinstein matter only once, and this is an opinion column rather than the news pages. The nation's paper of record, the New York Times, hasn't seen fit to publish even a squib on the matter. I asked the Times deputy Washington editor, Jonathan Weissman, why his paper hasn't deemed to mention the story uncharacteristically for the garrulous Twitterer who this week has found time to weigh in on Crazy Rich Asians, the U.S. Postal Service, and the crowd capacity of Texas A&M football stadium. Weissman declined to answer. Even the Los Angeles Times, catering to a readership that Feinstein represents, has ignored it. Why make Beijing's nefarious activities in the United States all the more worrying is that China unlike Russia, is not just an intelligence and military rival to the United States, but presents a genuine ideological threat as well. Nobody wants to import the Russia model, that of a declining petrostate with a plummeting population, shrinking lifespans, low growth, and serious fiscal problems. Vladimir Putin can and does make mischief outside his borders, but his method of governance is not something that anyone wants to emulate. China, on the other hand, has delivered 40 consecutive years of economic growth, lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty, and done it with only limited economic freedom. They call it state-directed capitalism and essentially zero political liberalization. It's little wonder that nation, as varied as Turkey, Poland, Vietnam, and Philippines and Ethiopia, are no longer just importing Chinese products. They're looking to import its system of political and economic management as well. China wants to pilfer a lot from us: our technological prowess, our military sophistication, our tradition of academic excellence, but not, unfortunately, our democratic system of governance. So, very interesting. And I read that in its entirety because although I've heard a lot about Dianne Feinstein's driver and so forth, I've never really read anything about it to kind of put it all in perspective. So that is why I read that, because probably many of you are the same, that you just really, you know about it, but you didn't know all the ins and outs. Not that that really explained all the ins and outs either, but okay. So now, after reading those two things, Q is asking us, connected? How do you communicate secure non-publicly? Define back channel. Well, I guess if she had a Chinese spy as her driver and lackey, then I guess she would have her own back channel, wouldn't she? Yeah, that's what I think. And let's look at Lisa Mae Crowley, her comment. She sold us out, passing info to from China via a chauffeur who served as a back channel for China. Mainstream media all but ignored this. Feinstein complicit in virus scam? You never know. Leverage control dictates how far you rise within the Democrat Party. Well, that is absolutely true. And this by Dio Presso Lieber, SunQ2 on Twitter. Love this patriot. Congrats again, Miguel Fornia. Feinstein's chauffeur was a Chinese spy, as Q implied a while back. Feinstein discussing her Chinese connections with Shanghai leaders, likely connected through her driver for 20 years. Back channel communications occurred. Absolutely. And I don't believe for a minute that she was mortified when she found out. I think she knew all along. All right, now we are on drop 4124. 4124. Corruption. U.S. officials enriching themselves at the expense of our country and national security. What else is new? And here we have this by an anon. Feinstein Q drop. She says private-public partnership. Now, there's no hope of us being able to see that, so I've made it a bit bigger over here. And let's take a look at this. Now, this has been provided by an anon, and it is from May 6, 2020. So I have, quoting her, this person saying, I have a very special connection with Shanghai. A 1997 Los Angeles Times article is crucial in detailing just how cozy Feinstein has become with Chinese officials at the time. The article details how Feinstein's husband, Richard C. Bloom, began investing in China with one project worth less than $500,000 in 1992 before suddenly planning on investing $150 million 2 years later. It's a lot of money to just have laying around that you can invest. Anyway, at the exact same moment that Bloom's Chinese investment began to skyrocket, Feinstein's role on U.S. policy toward China expanded. In January 1995, she became a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, giving her a prominent platform for her efforts to support China's trade privileges, the Times reported. The 1997 article also reveals that Feinstein made 3 visits since 1995 to meet with senior Chinese officials, including President Jiang Zemin, bringing her husband along each time. Interesting. Yeah. I'm beginning to wonder, is everybody corrupt? I mean, are all the politicians corrupt? We know that we have some good ones. There are some good ones, definitely. But man, I had no idea that it was this corrupt. And this has been an eye-opener for me, and I'm sure many of you as well, because I think we're all aware that there was corruption, but I don't think any of us really realized the extent of it. Anyway, let's look at this comment by Lisa Mae Crowley. As I mentioned in my previous post, leverage, control, dictates how far you rise within the Democrat Party. Those who take are offered more powerful positions within the party. Controlled. The more powerful people in our country, the most powerful people in our country are the most corrupt and compromised. Yeah, well, I think we've had that illustrated to us over the last couple of years, haven't we? And this by Dio Presser Lieber. Sorry, I keep itching here. I did something to my shoulder, and I put on this. It's like a cream that has cannabis in it, and it works. Like it really works. But I'm allergic to it, so I'm like scratching and scratching. Anyway, I don't have fleas or anything. All right. Feinstein, and this by Dio Presso Lieber, Feinstein is a sellout. She's been selling out selling out to China for years. The love of money is the root of all evil. Deep state Dems and Republicans have been hiding their financial enrichment for political favors through foundations in the names of their family members. Think McCain Foundation, Clinton Foundation. They tell the foreign entity to make a donation into their foundation, and magically the foreign entity receives hundreds of millions or billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars thanks to the $25 million they donated to the foundation. And we know now, from Q, I didn't realize that's how it worked before, but that's how it works. All right, now let's come down to the next drop, and we are on drop 4125. 4125, again, the 6th of May, and this says, control the media, control the narrative, control the people. Absolutely. And Q says, all assets deployed. Social media yesterday versus today versus tomorrow. Win by any means necessary. Everything is at stake. Q. Now, Lisa Mae Crowley says, with Facebook deleting QAnon accounts, Twitter trolls targeting us for removal, thousands of hit pieces, new Twitter language police, and retired generals coordinating to counter the truth with their propaganda, Q wasn't kidding regarding attacks will intensify. And they have. I have noticed that recently. It is getting really bad. I thought it was bad before. It's really bad now. And Dio Presso Lieber says all assets deployed to win presidential election, media, deep state, government, Hollywood, foreign entities, blue states, etc. And we can see it. We can see how panicked they are and how they're pulling out all the stops because they know that they know what's about to happen to them, and they know that getting Donald Trump out of there is the key, because if they can get one of their own in there, they know that they'll all be let off the hook. So, all right, let's go on. Now we are on drop 4126, 4126, and this is video of an infrared laser painting a target that gets annihilated. And remember, in the last Q that we looked at, I guess it would be not yesterday, but the day before, Q, was talking about painting a target. I had no idea what that meant, but it means when the laser hits the target, that's painting the target. So let's go take a look at this.
There's an IR spotlight. Here they come.
little scary to look at for me. I just, as long as the technology is used on the bad guys and not us. But, all right, let's go back here. And Lisa May Crowley says, originally thought Locked on Target, Painted, was regarding Comey. After today's drop, releasing transcripts, wondering if Schiff is the immediate target. Video shows how targets are painted with infrared lasers. All right. And Dio Prasso Lieber says, laser painting the target and then boom. See the parallel to what's about to happen to the deep state. So I think the target is already painted, so we can expect the boom anytime now. All right. And now we are on drop 4127. 4127. Video montage of news reporters around the nation using the same script buzzwords. So let's go here to the link that he has provided for us. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a video we have seen many, many times before. Yeah, it's the one where they're all saying the same thing. I'll go ahead and play it because there may be people here that have never seen this.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Yeah, and that just illustrating what we all know is that there are no real journalists anymore. They're just parrots. That's all they do. They read a script. That's it. And they all kind of get the same script, as you can see. All right, now let's go back. And it says, worth remembering, note they all read from a teleprompter. Who controls the message? Well, Q has told us many times that mainstream media is the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. Also, it is clown controlled. We know that from previous Q drops. Now, Lisa May Crowley says clowns use secure drop to pass 4 a.m. talking points, leak stories to the mainstream media. We also learned 6 major corporations control 90% of the media outlets. If we are watching a movie and goal is for mainstream media to self-destruct, are patriots controlling the message? And Dio Presso Lieber states, I've always loved this clip as it demonstrates the Mockingbird media talking points. CIA provided talking points through 4 a.m. memo, as Q has discussed in the past. Who does it now? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, now we are going on to the next, and this is drop 4128, drop 4128. Again, we are still on May 6th. And we have a link here that we need to go out to. And we have seen this many, many times in the past as well. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. They are at, actually, this is for a 9/11 memorial service. And Michelle Obama's and she says, all this for a damn flag. And, you know, Barack looks at her and nods. So let's play this just in case anybody has not seen it. That's what she's saying, all this for a damn flag. And he just nods. And it just keeps slowing it down to make it, but all right, so I don't think it's necessary to just watch them slow it down. All right, and let's come back here. And Q said, worth remembering. Note, rare truth caught on camera. Q. I think that is self-explanatory. They never had respect for the office. They never had respect for the country. They never had respect for the people. They didn't have respect at all. And they were out to destroy the country. They did nothing positive while in office. Absolutely. All right, now let's come down to the next one. And again, still on May 6th, 4129, drop 4129. And this is JFK, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Absolutely. Very, very famous line. January 20th, 1961. Before my time, but and it says ready to stand. Q. Yeah, I think we are ready to stand. So let's come down to the next. Again, May 6th, drop 4130. Rosenstein, scope memo for Mueller, peddled Steele dossier, Logan Act conspiracy theories. All right, let's take a look at this. And this is a previous drop. Or is it? Hang on here. Let me just get my bearings here. Okay. Yeah, this must be a, this is from 19th of April 2019, and this is a Q post from then, and it says there's some links here, and it says it's going over the scope of what Mueller was supposed to be, the scope of the committee, the special committee, and it says the scope memo highlighted within Mueller report confirms the dossier was a tool used by Rod Rosenstein to justify special counsel and was the primary vehicle to which Rod Rosenstein tasked Mueller. If the dossier was known to be unverified and fake, then why was an investigation started to begin with? At what point did Mueller determine there was no collusion? 18 months ago? Was the investigation kept ongoing as a talking point to rig the midterm elections? Absolutely. Was the investigation kept ongoing to retain the blockade to essentially restrict POTUS from unmasking and informing the public as to the truth about what really happened? Absolutely. Was the investigation kept ongoing to protect those who knowingly committed treason, sedition? Absolutely. No blockade equals game over. Q. All right, and then Q links to Devin Nunes' Twitter or tweet, and we have that right here. 40 million of taxpayer money spent on conspiracy theories. Rosenstein scope memo peddled Steele dossier, Logan Act conspiracy. A newly declassified DOJ scope memo confirms that Rosenstein used bogus Steele dossier allegations to justify Mueller's investigation of the Russian collusion. So, yeah. Okay, and Here we have this from Lisa May Crowley. Mueller met with POTUS day before appointment to special counsel, not for FBI director job. Rod Rosenstein wrote scope memo for investigation, knowing dossier was bogus. Supreme Court investigation kept everyone distracted while Durham, Huber, Barr was busy with the real investigation regarding the overthrow of government, the false coup. Yeah. All right, and this by Dio Presso Lieber. He said, advocating overthrow of government. Q linked to this tweet and article. And this by DocRock1007, and he is also, you can find him on Twitter as well. Knowing dossier was bogus, special counsel investigation kept everyone distracted while Durham's been busy with the real investigation into the coup cabal's attempted overthrow of government. Woohoo! Yeah. And moving down to this, drop 4131. Alexa knows more about the CV than the media. And it says there is so much truth in this. Let's take a look.
So, how long will the coronavirus last?
The virus itself may last only 2 more weeks or so, but the faction known as the Democrat Party will continue to make it last psychologically for at least 6 more months. Their motivation is to thoroughly ruin the economy and blame our great President Trump for it. They are trying to stop his inevitable re-election by any surreptitious means possible. It is well known that people who do not suffer from TDS are too smart for this hoax and will not allow it to go beyond 4 more weeks. The lazy Americans with TDS will continue to milk the government for more money and time off from work, confusing it with being their sugar daddy. We can agree that not longer than 4 to 6 weeks and America will be back online.
Now,
Alexa,
I do want to preface this because there's a lot of people going, oh, you know, and there's all sorts of videos out there like this, you know, where they'll ask Alexa something and it'll say something, you know, like I think there was one going around with, they were asking something about Hillary Clinton. But you can make Alexa say whatever you want. And that's what this is. I think it's cute. And absolutely, there's a lot of truth in there. But yeah, just so you know that, you know, Alexa really doesn't say that when you ask it that. And you know how I know that? Because I tried. And obviously, even without trying it, I would have known that that did not come from Alexa. And this is a little article right here. It says how to get Alexa to answer certain questions exactly how you want it. Now, I'm not going to go through all that because that's not what we're here for. But I do want you to know that you can make it say what you want it to say. So, all right. Anyway, let's go down. We are on drop 4132. Hannity reveals the unlawful origin of the Mueller witch hunt post Rosenstein's scope memo release. And let's now, I don't, this is a long video, and I think I'm just going to have to put the, because it's wanting us to watch from 0 to 21. We don't have 21 minutes to watch this. So what I'm going to do is I will leave the link to this. Oh, well, look at that. It's not available anymore. Says this video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated. Uh-oh. Yeah. It's happening a lot lately. Okay, so let's go back here. And Lisa May Crowley says Sean Hannity discusses newly released scope memo from Rod Rosenstein to Mueller based on fake Steele dossier. A deep state day of reckoning is very close. Adam Schiff, TikTok, not going to be a good day tomorrow. Graham, this is J. Edgar Hoover stuff. Interesting. So I wish that we could watch that. I haven't seen it yet. And now, apparently, I won't be able to see it unless somebody downloaded it somewhere and saved it. I don't know. But then also we've got this by Dio Presso Lieber. Q says watch first 21 minutes of Hannity discussing DOJ release of memo showing that Mueller investigation predicated on Steele memo. Kind of know this, but hey, Q says watch it at 12:43 into the Hannity video. He says it's not going to be a good day for Schiff tomorrow. Let's wait and see. Lindsey Graham told Hannity AG Barr gave him completely unredacted memo which showed in January 2017 the source of the Steele dossier disavowed, but in spite of this, Rosenstein gave Mueller the go-ahead to investigate POTUS in August 2017. And this from DocRock 1007, the long-awaited scope memo from Rod Rosenstein to Mueller based on fake Steele dossier is released, discussed on Hannity. All right, and we are on to the next drop. I told you, Q's been busy. 4133, drop 4133, with Dan Coates, DNI blocker, out of the way, we are starting to see the D-class of important info. Yes, we are. There is a reason why Congress did not return to work this week. DC, and it's non-COVID related. Think boom drops this week and next, 2019, 2020 plus one. Coates before D-class, ongoing now. Q. And Article 1, Section 6 states senators and representatives shall, in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace, be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses and in going to and returning from the same. So, yeah, they know that they're protected from arrest unless in cases of treason, felony, and breach of the peace, they're probably scared to come back to Washington. I would say that there's a lot of truth in that. And this by Dio Presso Lieber, it does seem D-class is happening right now. Looks like the memo explaining that the sub-source for the Steele dossier, who said the dossier was a fraud, has been completely declassified and provided to Lindsey Graham by AG Barr as referenced tonight on Hannity. Congress did not return to work because they knew some of the D-class of the FISA abuse documents would take place this week and next. Dems follow Q quite close too. Q referring to boom posts he redropped today for the first time Q referring to boom posts he redropped today from this time last year, plus one in brackets may refer to Schiff. Q confirms the C before D means Dan Coates had to be removed as DNI director before D-class could begin. D-class would have happened sooner, but the Dems released the CV on us as a distraction. All right. Now, we are on drop 4134, and AC-130 gunship lights up the night. And we have this. It looks very similar, if not the same, as what we just saw. It says an AC-130 gunship and UH-60 helicopter light up the night as troops on the ground work a laser illuminator. So again, we've got more of the same that we just saw. Gilligan's Island, Mosul, Iraq. Okay. All right, anytime now.
That is an IR spotlight. Here they come.
This is what we just watched. And I don't really see the necessity in watching it again. I think we understand what that means. The target's been painted and the booms are this week. So Whoops, I don't want to go there. My hair is awful. Can't wait until we're able to go to like get our hair cut and things that, you know, make us feel normal again. All right, so let's go on, and I think the next one is from today. So that is it for tonight. Not it for tonight. That's it for this video. I'm going to do a second video with the drops from today, but I want to thank some people, and let me go up to the top here and thank the following people. Coffee donors, Anon, which is really Carol and Dwayne. Thank you very much. And another Anon. Also picked up 2 new Patreon supporters, Deborah Rice and Jennifer Farquhar. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right, Jennifer. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Also, I got some snail mail, which is always fun. Sue from Hawaii sent a very nice note and donation. And I hope I didn't. Yeah, okay. And Colleen, now I'm not sure. Pam, I know Pam from California, she sent a note and a rubber coaster, which I'm using. She said that if I use this coaster, which is really cool, I hope you can see that. Hang on here. It's kind of, well, I wish you could see the light through it because the light goes through the green parts. But she said then I don't have to, you know, make a boom when I put my cup down. So, yeah, I'm using that. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are so thoughtful. And I think, I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and see the letters because I can't remember whether it was Colleen Stubblefield or Sue from Hawaii that sent me they're homemade masks, and they're awesome because they have little cats on them. I've got 2. Like, they're the cutest masks ever. They are. I've got to take my mom to the doctor tomorrow, and I've got to wear a mask, so I'm going to wear one of those. All right. So anyway, thank you very much. And I'm going to clarify that because now I'm confused. I shouldn't be, but you know, I live my life confused. So yeah, because I want to get that right. Which one sent me which? But thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. I really, really do. And think you guys are the bestest. So that is it for this video anyway. And I will be busy working on the second one while this is uploading. Okay. Thanks guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Keep seeking truth.